About 7 to 8 years ago, I went to a member of my church's house to do the naming ceremony for his new baby boy. And I practically had to cross rivers to get there. The road was bad. The place was inside. It was a bush. If I was taking someone there for the first time, they would probably think I'm taking them there to use them for rituals. I mean, when I finally arrived at the destination, I said, why? Why did you bring your family to stay in this place? Why? I mean, this is not. And he said, see, Pastor, that's what I could afford. That's where I could afford rent. And I said, you know what? Let me see the resources that you have and let's look at it together so that we can see how you can come out of this. And by the time he brought his resources and I looked at them, I realized that he had everything he needed to make his life better. I just gave him some advice, told him do this, do that. Within, I think about 4 to 5 months, he moved his family out of that place into a new place where I went to go and pray and dedicate. I was very excited for them. Now they were living in town. And then in about 1 or 2 years' time, I saw him driving his own car. Now, he didn't call me back to come and tell me thank you for the car or to, ask me to pray or give me prophet offering. But the excitement in me was, wow. Because for somebody to move from that to the point where he can now afford a better place for his family, and now where he can now afford to buy a car for himself, I mean, the jump was, and it was all started from me just looking at the resources he has and helping him to reorganize it and telling him what to do. Today, we're looking at the things that you have and how you can use those things to get you higher. John chapter 15, verse 1 and 2. John chapter 15, verse 1 and 2. It says, I am the true vine, and my father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away, and every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. So this is how God organizes his own business. He looks at the branches that are not bearing fruit, and he cuts them off. Then he looks at the branches that are bearing fruit, and he purges them to make sure that they bear more fruit. So, and that's how he's getting great profit. So if you also want to get great profits, you must be able to sit down with your resources. Some people have land that has been there for maybe 10 years, maybe even 20 years. And since that land has been there, you have not made a kobo from it. Some people have a car that they are thinking and saying that I need to do that, and they have a car and they don't have a job. You need to look at the resources that you have, because inside those resources are many blessings that you probably don't know yet. Every year, I always take an audit of my resources. There was a particular parcel of land that I had for maybe 7 to 8 years. And every year when I do my audits, I always say, this one, I'm going to make sure that it brings fruit. This one, I'm going to make sure it brings fruit. And it was until about 7 to 8 years later that it now started, this year, that it really now started bringing fruit. And I now felt like a fool. Interestingly, I've known this thing for a long time. But, I'm not a perfect human being. Sometimes you also make mistakes. I felt like a fool because this particular resource brought multi-millions to me this year without me lifting a finger. So I now felt, imagine if I had done this 7 years ago. Imagine how much I would have made from it, because I would have even made more than that because I'm just starting now. That's why it's that low. So for many of us, I want you to today, while you're watching this video, do an audit of the resources that you have. There are some of those resources that you need to cut off. Some of those resources that you need to cut off include people, human beings, that are not bearing any fruit in your life. Not bearing financial fruit, not bearing spiritual fruit, not bearing emotional fruit. Some people are even removing from what you have. You need to cut, even if they are your family members. You need to cut, and that's how God. So it's not as if I'm being wicked. It's not as if this is God. And when Jesus was saying this thing, he was talking about human beings. Because later on in verse 5, he said that any branch in me that beareth not fruit, my father will cut it off, and he said it will be trampled on and there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So weeping and gnashing of teeth, we know that that's hellfire. You understand? So it was human beings he was talking about that he will cut off. So if I'm saying that you should cut human beings off, I'm not being wicked. I'm just saying and you cannot be nicer than God. So if God cuts some people off from his kingdom, why can't we also cut some people off from our lives? So number one, there are certain people that you must cut off. Some of them are even draining your resources. If somebody is not bearing any fruit in your life, cut them off. And bearing fruit in your life does not include that they make you laugh. The fact that somebody makes you laugh does not mean that it's possible that as you are laughing, some other things are leaving you. You understand? So we don't make friends just because the person is fun to be around with. No. We make friends because this person can benefit me. And I can also benefit the person. It's not that I'm best benefiting. I can also benefit this person. So whether it's spiritually, whether it is financially, whether it is even emotionally, there are certain people that when you are around them, you feel better about yourself. When they speak, it's like the giant in you comes out. And this is one thing I try to also be. If you read verse 3 of that passage, in fact, let's read it. John chapter 15, verse 3. He says, "Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you." There are certain people that their words make you feel cleaner. Their words make you feel better. Their words bring out the better version of you. Yes, be friends with those people. But certain other people, even if the person lives beside your house or beside your flat, cut them off your life. Some people, when you see them, it's only just about fashion. The latest clothes, the latest shoes, or gossip. This is what Tiwa Savage is doing now. Right now, as I speak to you, Tiwa Savage is in so and so place, and what's my business? This is what Wizkid did. This is how Davido responded. Me, I am FC. I am whatever. For some, it's even football. They know all the history of Ronaldo, they know about Maradona, when Maradona was born. They know about Pele. They know all the history, and that's all that they are talking. You discover after two hours of staying with them, you have not gained anything. In fact, you are probably even drained. Cut those people off. Cut them off. There are also some arms of your business that you need to cut off. You have done everything that you can. You have brought in an expert, and they have looked at this arm of your business, and you're still not doing well. Cut that arm of the business off.
If you were not at the Biblical Billionaire Conference, honestly, you missed. Because we spent 3 days with the top 1% of billionaires and business coaches in Africa. So we spent time with Tad Drotoye.
Know what you do consistently that makes your customers buy your product.
We spent time with Vose Tembekwayo.
I'm on fire, comrades. I came here with weapons for you.
We spent time with the richest woman in Africa, Mrs. Folorunsho Alakeja.
When we say we are in entrepreneurship, there are ways to get into it that you won't have to suffer, delayed, waste money, waste time. You won't have to task yourselves unnecessarily.
We spent time with Dr. Cosmas Maduka.
I didn't hesitate to give him what he looked for because he's thinking well. It's your thinking that positions you.
We even had a surprise guest, Dr. Stephen Akintayo.
You have to refuse fear.
My humble self also.
The greatest asset that you have is your mind.
But the good news is that we recorded everything for you. All the speaking sessions were recorded. All the Q&A sessions were recorded. All the prayer sessions were recorded. Every single thing was recorded for you. Even the board meeting presentations. And you can get everything in one bundle. And guess how much? Only 80,000 naira. Click the link below so you can buy this bundle. And I'm telling you, it is something that you should not miss. You already missed it before. Don't miss the recording right now. Click the link right now and you can have the recording to yourself.
If it is draining you, cut it off, remove it. Especially after you have prayed. After you have prayed. You know, there are certain people or certain businesses or arms of businesses that are draining the company. I'm going back to people now. Draining the company. And it's because of the people that are there. There was a particular one of our Diamond Club members, who this particular branch was not doing well at all. In fact, this particular branch was always making a loss. And this person was at the verge of closing the branch. because the branch was not making as much as it should. And I said, no. Every other thing says that this branch will be doing well. It's the people. It's the people. Fire these people. And this person was sentimental and saying, no, this one started with me. This one is like this. This one, my mommy knows them, their father. This one, my uncle has auntie, this, that. And I said, you have to remove these people. Then, one day, we did an audit and discovered that 16 point something million naira was missing. Just disappeared into the air, 16 point something million naira. So I turned back to my my able sentimental business. I say 16 point something million is gone. Do you still think these people want the best for you as you want the best for them? And then it became clear. So this person resumed the next morning with their sack letters. So that as they were resuming like this, take your sack letter, don't bother entering. If you have anything that is remaining, tell me, I will go help you bring it out and go. Today, that branch is the second best performing branch in the business. That branch is now doing so well, they are doing tens of millions per month. Per month. The people that were inside needed to be cut off. Needed to be cut off. And after they were cut off, everything just became better. But if you don't do like God and sit down and say, which branch is not bearing fruit? You will just be suffering. You will just be feeding other people. Because one of those people, one of those staff, did a birthday celebration that the owner of the business said, even me have not had the money to do this kind of birthday celebration. And then by the time the person asks and they say, no, it's our boyfriend that sponsored it. You have boyfriend that can afford this kind of birthday and you are collecting this kind of salary here. These were the signs that these people, they are making a lot from you. Not making, stealing a lot from you. But out of sentiments, you left them. Another one was broke when he came. And then later on, they saw him eating turkey. And it's not as if they paid salary that day, So how come? And so we had seen all these signs. And I said, it is these people. You understand? So you need to sit down and do an audit. Sometimes the audits, you may not be real with yourself. Because many times we're emotional with things, even in our businesses. You may not be real with yourself. Get somebody else to join you. Somebody who understands, business to join you and look at it and which one should I cut off? And which one should I retain? And then by the time you now know the ones that you should retain, Jesus Christ said you must prune them to bring the best so that they will bear more fruits. Certain arms of the business that you must invest more in marketing. See, there's something we call the Pareto principle. Pareto principle states that only 20% of your effort brings 80% of your results. So 20% of your business or of your customers are bringing 80% of your income. Or 20% of the business, maybe like the arms or branches, are bringing 80% of the income. This is true with practically any business. Now, find out what that 20% is and increase it. Expand, invest more in it. Whether you're investing money in it, you're investing people in it, invest more into it so that 20% can be bigger. If you go to a McDonald's store, they have only about, I can't remember now, maybe 7 or 11 items on their menu that you can eat. Before, they used to have many things on their menu, up to 70 something, so that people can choose, make their choice. Then they sat down and said, the majority of people are only buying burger and fries or so. That's the 20% that is bringing 80% of our revenue. Why don't we cut off the rest and focus more on this burger and fries, whatever it is, I can't remember. So they focused more on that, and all of a sudden they just started to grow. So if you look at your business, find the ones that are bearing fruits, then prune them. Make sure that they bear more fruits. There are more things. If you have a location, for example, where you are doing well, a location of business where you are doing well, expand that business in that location and start offering more products in that place, you will now sell more in that particular location. If you have a social media handle, maybe it's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's YouTube that is doing very well, put more resources into that one. And you see that by the time you put more resources, it now grows. Look at it and say, okay, which one is doing the most? And then you now invest more into it. And then you will see everything blows on from there. Any questions? Okay.
Okay, thank you once again, as a coach. I'm grateful for the teaching.
God.
So I have like 2 questions. One, how can I use what I have now to get what I want according to our text?
Yeah.
I'm into real estate. I practically partner with a company, and I am marketing their locations. And these locations are very good. They are in the prime locations, and they are mainly all over the states. You understand? So, how can I use those states now to build my own company, my own real estate, my own location fund? Because the company gave me that leverage,
Okay.
and they are supporting me to own my own, to scale up my own company.
Yeah.
You understand? So how can I use that now to do that?
Fantastic. Brilliant question. And that's one major thing that, yes, you have that resource, you have that connection, you have that. And then you're now looking at how can I use this to expand? You see, especially in the real estate space, you can enter into an agreement with them that they give you, so because your name and brand is very important, that they give you a portion of the land that they sell. Maybe they have 20 acres somewhere. They should give you maybe 5 acres out of that. So they give you those 5 acres, and then you can fence it round and put your name, your own brand on it as your estate. It's still within their estate, but it has your brand as your estate. Then you can now sell at the same price that they are selling, because you can't sell, you can sell at the same price that they're selling, but because of your agreement, you now have better commission even than that. So with that, you have your own brand and your own name that you're already using there. By the time you now make money from that place, you can now go somewhere else. You can use their connections with Omonile and what have you, and go somewhere else and now build your own, which one is now not under them. Now build your own and then have your brand name. But now, this is your second estate, not your first estate. The first one, you leverage them without even using your own money, although you needed to do your fence and all that. But you leverage them, and then now you have your own second estate. With this, your second estate now, you can now do more. You can price it differently. You can put more amenities in it. You can even decide that you want to develop it and what have you, and then grow from there. Now, I've said it in a very simple way, but it may take you 2 or 3 steps. You may need to do 2 or 3 estates with them before you're now able to stand on your own with your own estate, because the gap, the price, whatever you're making on it may be different. You understand? But there's an advantage to you using your own name. So you are no longer just a realtor. You now have a company. You are now a real estate company of your own. And then you are now doing that. In fact, what you would discover is that you will sell, it's your space. So I'm sure you understand this. You will sell so much that you will need quickly to go to that new place and that new place, because now it's your own company. It's everything is yours. You're not referring them to anybody. So when they come to you and they buy from you and you do very well, your customer service and all that, they will come back to buy more from you, or they will introduce it to their other friends. And then by the time they introduce to their other friends, you feel like that maybe the 2 acres or whatever 5 acres that they give you is not enough. And then you will need to go somewhere else. And it's your own business. You get, and then your name, there's this thing about estate's name, where it keeps the brand exactly will keep growing. There are certain real estate companies in Nigeria that the moment they are in a place, everybody knows, oh, this is this company. And so your name will now keep growing like that. So you can use that to expand the business like that. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. The second question, Talking about cutting off.
Okay.
You know,
Yes.
in our last class, we talked about upper class,
Yeah.
middle class, and lower class.
Yeah.
Like some of your friends and some family members,
Yeah.
who are in this middle class and lower class,
Yeah.
especially middle class now. Talking about middle class people, and you are trying to give them this real estate
Okay.
as an asset, or as something that will move them
Yeah.
from that low, from going to the low class
Yes.
when this time comes. And they are not understanding it as said, or and the another mindset they have is that you want to take their money from them. You understand? So you want to use them to climb or something like that. So they are not seeing what you are doing for them.
Yeah.
That you don't want to regret maybe in the next coming 10 years or years. You don't want them to fall back. You understand? You are trying to give them something that will give them a leverage to grow more, to move to the upper class.
Yeah.
But they are not seeing it that way. Are you going to cut them off, or just be patient with them and continue to try
Okay.
so that they eventually, if they understand, they will move to the upper class?
So these are people that you want to sell the land to. Yes. So we don't cut off customers at all, except if that customer is draining us. But we don't cut customers off, because a customer, someone who doesn't buy today, may buy 5 years later. So we just keep them warm. So but a customer that is draining, in the sense that this particular customer, whenever you are attending to him, you are unable to attend to other customers, you need to cut that one off. Or this particular customer, whenever he comes, he pays 1 million naira, but at the end of the day, you discover that you always spend 1.5 million naira because he just doesn't want to pay another. You can cut that off. You understand? But just normally, just regular customer like that who is not buying, you just keep them, send them messages regularly. Let them keep seeing your WhatsApp status, your Instagram posts, your YouTube posts, and all that. One day, they will come around and buy. So we don't cut off those kind of customers, except customers from hell. There are some customers that are from hell. You get understand? They just, every time they come, you are not even happy. Normally, you're supposed to be happy when a customer comes in, but you are always happy when these ones are going. Have you met people like that? In fact, they can even be threatening you and saying, "I won't even buy from you again." In your mind, they're like, "Please don't buy from me again." Tomorrow you will see them again. So those kind of ones that you are praying that they don't buy from you again. Those kind of customers, you can cut them off majorly because of the weight that they bring on the company. But just generally speaking, no, we don't cut customers off because they did not buy. You understand? We just maintain the relationship, and one day, and in fact, the day that they buy, they may now buy so much that you will be glad that you maintained that relationship. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
I always be in the Bible, like other people. So, Sakis, I want you to
You should sit.
thinking
Maybe you should sit down.
in every conference.
Yeah.
That every guest that you invite to come and speak, we are always been telling them that they should tell us the real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going by your words, sir, I want you to tell us some real things, sir,
Okay.
because you mentioned that you have some properties that it looks like you've not been using them before, and they bring tens of millions to you this year. And me, I've been looking forward to the day I will get into tens of millions, honestly. And I have 1 acre of land lying somewhere, and I'm trying to buy more at the end of this year, maybe about 4 more acres. And I cultivated 4 acres of land for farming this year. What are the things that you can share with us that we can put our land into use
that will bring the cares. Or I know that when it comes to land, locations matter, but in my location too, maybe no growth or level of pence or billions, but I will bring a millions that these are can be the big word.
All right, thank you very much. So farming is one. Farming is one where it's just there and then it's not doing anything. But then you just start farming on it, and you may not be the one to farm on it. So you can, but the size of the land matters. That's probably where you said that maybe the level, the size, and the location too. So farming is one. If you can get someone who will just come, take it up, and farm on it. So that's one. Second is development. You get someone who will come and develop the land. You don't lift a finger. Then they pay you a certain amount just for the entire beginning process of doing it. And then by the time they finish building, you have maybe 1 unit or 2 units based on your agreement with them. You have a percentage of whatever it is. And you didn't lift a finger, and you can sell that and make money for yourself. Whereas the land was just there all the while and you were not doing anything with it. You understand? So you can do the development one is a very, very good one because it's no longer raw. Whenever you process something, you increase the value. Yeah. So it's no longer raw. You have now taken it to that point of development. And then the second one is the farming one, where you can now bring somebody in to farm on the land and what have you. But a lot depends on the size of the land. The location, very important for development. But if it's not going to be for development, then a lot is going to be majorly on the size if it's going to be for farming. So the larger it is, in fact, you can enter into an agreement with another company that will come and farm on it, such that the company pays you ahead even before they start farming. Yeah, so they pay you ahead. So for this particular land, it's not development, it's farming, but it's large. And the company came in and they have paid me. They have not even come on the land at all. And they have already paid ahead for the agreement, the signing of agreement and all that. And they have already paid. We have exchanged all our papers and all that. And they've not even started doing anything on it. And then when they start farming, I also get 30% of whatever it is that they get. You get, and I didn't lift a finger. And it's a resource I've had for more than 7 to 8 years. So see how much I've been living on the table. And every year, my New Year resolution is this particular land, though, I'll do something about it and I'll just forget. Then I'll do something and I'll just forget. You understand? So that's that. But your negotiation skills also, also matters.
That is, if I will ask the development that you talk about, I didn't really understand. Is it that they'll come and you because they get you and they don't find the rest, I might listen the land for it.
Thank you. So there are certain companies that they have the money to build. In fact, they probably don't even have the money to build, but they have the customers that can buy when they build. So they would do all their drawings and present to those customers. Those customers will decide to buy off plan. Then they come to you who owns the land. They don't have the money, remember. So they come to you who owns the land, and then they tell you, give us this land. Let's enter into what we call joint venture. So you give them the land, permission to use the land. Yeah. You sign an agreement, joint venture agreement with them. So they now build the house with their customers' money. Yeah. They build the house and then give you so based on your agreement. So first, there's something I don't know what it's called, but you can get a particular amount of money. I've forgotten what it's called. But you can get a particular amount of money just for that agreement phase. That okay. So no, not return on investment. It's in the real estate space itself. Developers usually, so you can get that money just for that agreement phase of doing the whole agreement, and then now they can start. Maybe they call it principal or whatever it is. So they pay you that amount of money just to start. Then they now build, and then by the time they finish building, you get a percentage of whatever. So if they build 10 units, and let's say your agreement is 30%, you get 3 units out of the 10 units. So number one, you've made money, but the money that you got at the beginning was not the value of the land. It's very low compared to the value of land, but you get something for yourself at the beginning. Then when they finish building, you get those 3 units, which you can decide to rent out or sell if you want. And then they have the 7 units, which the price that they are selling, that they sold the 7 units was enough for them to build the entire, the primer the location, the more money you can make from that one. Because people will be living in that place. My pleasure. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week, Tuesday, for another edition of the Tuesday Business Bible Study. Make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel, all right? Because we've noticed that more than half of you who watch these videos don't subscribe. I mean, click the link to like this video so that other people can see it, and then please subscribe to this channel. Let's always see each other like this regularly, okay? So go ahead and subscribe now.